for another episode of this kind of bathroom scene I've been working on. It is pretty much, it's at a good stage. I feel that it's basically now just kind of refining everything and going into the finer details, making sure everything is just at that next level, fixing up the things that I said at the end of the last video, getting it to a better place. A little sip of water. I was told that my videos are quite relaxing somehow by a viewer or two. So I thought maybe I'll just kind of keep that theme of them being relaxing. Yeah, so let's get going. I do have the render for this. Where we got to, which one was it? I think it's this one. Just opened up on my other window. So some of the things, oh no, that's the first one, sorry. This is the one. Yeah, so some of the things that I had issue with originally was the UV mapping of that, and I think generally the lighting's actually very good on this. So I kind of want to recapture some of this stuff, but start adding more content to it, messing with the colors. Then we did the second render, which had the main light. So now I've fixed the UV of that strip on that wall panel. The colors of this is better. I think the texturing on the sink is worse on this, and same with this. I think it's the denoiser maybe that's doing some of this stuff, or it's the texture itself. I'm also not too sure now about the beveled edge on the outside. I think it doesn't look as good. It looks a bit fake, whereas the first image kind of had. I mean, it looks a bit sharp, but I think it just looks better. So I'm thinking of doing a blend between the two, where it's the sharper edge on the outside and the bevel on the inside. So that is that. I actually did jump in and take a look at that myself just a second ago. So we're going to reactivate the overlays so we can see what we're doing. I'm going to come into edit mode, and I am going to resharpen this. So the way I'm going to do this is by simply grabbing every other okay, I've stupidly not done this probably the way that it should have been done. Okay, I'm just going to dissolve these. Let's have a look what we got. If I just dissolve all of them, that'll make it a nice sharp bevel. I'm just going to see what that looks like out of interest. Yeah, not as good as I want. So I'm going to grab this edge, and I am going to bring it to here, and I'm going to grab this edge and bring it down to there. So this needs to become unmark it, so it's no longer sharp. And I think really that one needs to go as well. Yeah, I think that's okay. Just get a rough idea of what that's like. Yeah, it's not too bad. So I think we're kind of now in the spot where we've kind of got a happy medium between the two images. I did already change the scale of the texture. I made it a bit bigger, and I might even just try doing it a little bit bigger already. So that means lowering this number. So I'm going to do these 6 by 6, and that's all good. Now this one is very much the same texture, and I think that's fine. Didn't even notice that that's got that texture on it. The pipe. It's almost like a vinyl, you know, like a sticker or a carbon fiber sort of sticker. I'm just going to reapply that metal black, and I'll save it at that point. So now we're at the stage where I can move on to new objects. I do need to sort out the UVs on this cupboard. That was the other thing, wasn't it? It was this one. So this face. Oh, I'm on the wrong object. On the door. Select this face. So that face I don't want it to be too dark. I think it's a bit too strange looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to get rid of that. I'm going to come out of edit mode and get rid of that and just go back to where we were. And just do the same with that one. So the cupboard is done and dusted. Maybe the cupboard will start looking nicer if I play around with the texture a little bit more. Maybe let's put this up to, just whack it up to 5, so we have a higher grain. Maybe even more. I'm gonna go to an extreme just to get that. See, now we're starting to see the repeats in the like the tiling, which can be resolved, but I'm gonna leave it for now. What I might do is just test the door out. So with my PureRef examples, we can see that this is all the same piece of wood. And I'm having a look around. Excuse me. I'm just gonna have a look around for some wood styles that I quite like. See, now I quite like this sort of dark wood style. I'm thinking of incorporating some of this kind of wood look into the room overall. But yeah, I'm thinking of just trying out some different wood styles and seeing what would look better. Because the tiling on this specific one isn't that great. So maybe what I could do is create an instance on this one and lower the grain. I think that works actually. So I'm just going to call it 1.1 or something. So this can be changed to 1.1 as well. Now that way, the tiling looks alright on all of the others, but if I just play around with the grain, that kind of blends it in a lot more, I think. Just for now, so I don't have to worry about playing around with it at all. So my next thing is to decide whether or not I'm happy with this soft light, and I think it's pretty good. I messed around with it. Obviously I had that issue where I was affecting the alpha. Oh, don't want it that bright. I'm just going to put this up to 1. So I do quite like the glow. So I'm just going to play around with that glow a little bit. It's quite bright, but it's nice. Okay, yeah. Let's do that. Thank you, King Raheem. Sorry, I didn't hear it. I need to make sure I keep an eye out on the chat. Thanks for tuning in. I'm not sure where are you actually coming from? Are you on Twitch? Ah, cool. Cheers, man. Yeah, I'll keep on going and see where we get. So, yeah, I'm going to add this light to the other side so that from here we have, you know, if you was having a shower here, you'd have the same thing going on. So I'm going to grab all of this. I'm going to press Shift D and then click to go out of it. I'm going to rotate it by 180 degrees on the x-axis. Now that oh, I didn't do that right. Rotate on the y, yeah, by 180 degrees. And then I'm going to lock in on that. And I'm just going to pull this back to the wall. So now we have 2 lights, one on either side. So I can now, you know, we have light on both sides. Now this angle probably, you know, doesn't look that great, but this light really is just there for being there, purely just for being there. It's not going to be on at all. So I need to work out what one's what. Area light, that one is going to be off for both the render and the viewport. This, I need to now mess around with this because this needs to become an instance. So I'm going to put this as lightbox underscore 2, and I'm going to come down and this emission strength is going to be at 0. So the light is off. That should be it, really. And then cool, yeah. I mean, you don't really see it that much, but that's kind of it. It's just it's there. So when light comes in and bounces, we get, you know, all of these little bits all add up to the scene in total, kind of thing. It's not really about having to have your camera angle to see everything. It's about kind of just making sure that you have these different elements. Even if they're behind walls and stuff, they'll start reflecting light and doing all these different things for your scene. So the light's there. At some point we're going to have some kind of controls. I was toying with whether or not it would be mechanical controls or digital controls. Like maybe I was thinking initially like a digital control panel or something. But I'm thinking with this shower, really it needs something maybe like just a simple handle or lever or something that comes off of the pipe up maybe around here that you could just pull, and then, you know, that will be it. But I'm going to do that as a fine detail afterwards. So I think really now I need to create a light for the ceiling, and then some interest in the mirror. Now I was contemplating whether or not to make like a wooden back on the wall, but also with that I'm not 100% on. As far as the switch for the light, I might do like a dangle, like a dangle sort of light with like a thing up here. I'm not too sure, but I'm going to go through these references just to go back in and sort of see, okay, what kind of stuff do we have in these bathrooms? Like a lot of this, things like these chairs and stuff, I, don't think we'd ever have that. But one thing that is missing from mine is this kind of a pipe to actually fill the bath up, because you wouldn't fill the bath up from that shower. It'd be more like this kind of pipe. So I think really this needs to be customized quite a lot more, and then that will actually create a bit more interest on this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this, and I'm firstly going to, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab both the pipe, the shower and the bath. I'm going to isolate just those two objects, and I'm going to start doing some stuff to make this a bit better. So firstly what I'm going to do is sort of make some loop cuts that give me indication of where the height of the bath is, and then I can work from there. So what I'm going to do, I'm thinking it should be a totally new object, and I kind of need to really think about how I'm going to do this, because you got to think logically. This is kind of like raining straight down. Where would you be stood in this thing? I think realistically this might be even closer, or it might be like built into a unit. So what I'm thinking is actually building some kind of housing for it, make a completely new object and make some kind of housing for it that kind of fits, when you look at the whole scene. Maybe it'll be some kind of box that sits at the back, like a tank, not a tank, but it'll look like a tank, I guess, that maybe is built out of the same sort of material, with, well, highlights of the same material as the wall. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll make it wooden and make it kind of not like that one. So maybe I'll use the principles of this kind of grooved, I can't remember the name of that pattern, but this kind of pattern basically. I'll do something similar to that, but a box unit that kind of has the taps on it, so similar to this principle, and I'll have some controls on it, and then the shower will come out of it, and something similar to this. So I'm going to take a lot of inspiration from this single image here, but do my own spin on it. Okay, so we have that one and that one, isolate, and then what I'm going to do is bring in a completely new object, and I'm going to start with a cube, and firstly let's just scale this right down. Although I do remember actually there are issues with working from outside of the grid, so I'm just going to test my, that seems to be working alright, annoyingly, whereas it wasn't before. I'm going to test it. My box cutter add-on might not work exactly how I want it to, but we'll have a go nonetheless. So let's get this exactly where I want it. Put it central to the pipe, and I've just noticed actually that the pipe is kind of not central to the bath. Okay, so roughly there. Okay, that's good. And we'll get it at the height of the bath. And now come back into here. And then we'll start doing some edits. So I'm going to grab that. Maybe leave a bit of a gap. This is where I probably need to come back in to here and just establish this thickness. I think I want it kind of like it's built into it, so I think that'll be good. And I think this is actually going to be a fair height, something like that. And then I just want to something like that. Then this can have like maybe some products on it, the pipes coming out and the controls either side. I'll do some kind of raise. I'll change this model a little bit to adapt to this as well. And I think that'll look cool. Maybe the colouring will be off, I don't know. But we'll see. So now go back into isolating these. And what I'm going to do, well, where is it? It's in the light box. That's annoying. So put this back in the objects category. And this will be controls. And okay, so I'm going to add a bevel to this. Something like that. Just to soften it. And temporarily I'm going to give it the bath material. Okay, so we've got ourselves some, I mean, you know, really that is like kind of all you need, just something simple like that. And then you can build off of it. And you know, looking at it from here, maybe it needs a bit more interest, I'm not too sure. I mean, you can try all kinds of things, just why not? Grab these edges and could do a chamfer or a really sort of slight bevel. Something like that. Gives it that softer tone. Maybe it's too wide. Maybe that. And I'm now going to smart project it just so we get a bit of a smoother and do some weighted normals, because why not? Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Just something simple block, doesn't need to be too in depth. I'm just going to add some detail around here basically. So the next thing I want to do is to fit this pipe to it a bit better, because there's all this kind of needless pipe under here which we could utilize. Okay, so there is a loop there that I don't need, so I'm going to dissolve that, go back to face mode and just bring this up here. Oops. Now I've got hold of that, I can actually just bring it up like that. Lovely. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw it. I'm actually just not going to waste this geometry that I put in, so I'm going to bring this down. Oh, I am stretching it. Let's leave that actually. Okay, so it's like an anchor. Okay, so coming back here, I want it to be fairly obvious. So I think maybe the fixing can come up to about here. I'm going to extrude it on the Y, Z, sorry. And then I'm going to do like a slight expansion. I'm going to extrude it again. And go to face select and extrude these like so. And get like a nice, quite large one thing I've noticed is like it's not a perfect circle, but I don't mind that at all actually. And then I'm going to grab, what I've noticed is that we've got all this extra detail here, but that doesn't matter. I'm just going to do that. And see what that looks like. So it looks a bit odd now. So I'm just going to do a smart project. And that kind of sorts out the texture, which is great. So I think I want some kind of fixing. So I'm just going to do some edits to this. I'm going to make this round for a start. We'll do 6 segments, make it even to that. And then grab these faces. And I'm just going to extrude and then expand them slightly. See what that looks like. A sec. Okay. Okay, we got some shading issues. Again, just go with the smart project. And now what I want to do is just change these to, I don't know, something. Oh no, that's ugly. Let's add another one and make that just the standard black metal that we've got. And that's just to give it some extra detail. I mean, it looks a bit strange now I'm looking at it, but maybe it's a bit off. Is that wrong? Yeah, I don't know. Almost, yeah. I don't know if I like it actually. Not sure about that. Let's see it in context. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think it looks like a, you know, like the bell that you ring at a desk or something. Okay, so I'm gonna see how far back I can go. So this is probably alright actually, and just bring that in quite a lot. See, that's not too bad. That's quite interesting. Still. Not my thing. That isn't so bad. I mean, that just kind of looks like it's thicker at the where it joins the. I think that's all right. I think really to focus, the focus needs to be on something like the taps or something like that. Okay, let's go back to this. So we've got our panel. We need some controls. That's what it is. And does that go out far enough? That's the question. It is like I do need a way of filling the bath, and I have gone with this kind of offset style on the sink. So maybe we could have, I could just duplicate this, really, because why not? And have a hot and cold kind of tap off of either side, you know, kind of like that. But then it does get a bit copycat, doesn't it? So that could be the copper. Oh, why didn't I do that? The copper theme. Let me see. What do you think, King Raheem? If you're still listening. Yeah, maybe I could copy this kind of style, where it's a bit thicker and then thinner, right, so it's not the same as that. I quite like it. I'm trying to get all these angles, so it's like, yeah, let's go with that. Let's just customize this one. So I'm going to isolate these, go back into this mode, and lock in on this. So what I could do is just make sure I've got the Solidify Modifier on this one. So I could make it even, oh no, this one, I could make it quite thin. And I think I'm going to have to apply this. And then if I go to the edit mode and apply something like this, and then grab all of that, has that applied? That's just that and that. Can't tell if that's, I think that's up to, all the way up to there, yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to be grabbing the, what happens if I, okay, let's bring a ring to there, and then grab those, and what happens if I do that? Okay, expand on everything except the Y. Yeah, that's pretty much what we want. Give it a little bit of that, and then drag that down to the ground height. And then we go to wireframe, just make sure we're at ground height. And then we are good to go. So that realistically needs to actually go in the bath, doesn't it? So I think overall this thing needs to scale. So set the origin to the geometry. And what? Scalar up. Is that too big? Yeah. Way too big. Bear with me. Let's grab all of it except, no, what am I doing? I want everything except that and that. And then if I am to do, oh, it's grabbing its insides as well. Don't want them. Does that work? Yeah, that works. And then I don't want them now. How am I going to do that? Oops. So I want to bring all of these. What happens if I do that? Yeah, so I want to bring all of these There are faster ways of selecting, but I like to grab all of them individually like this. Oh dear. Oh, I didn't think of that. Maybe that's not going to work. Okay. Forget that. Let me just see what that looks like. It's a big old tap. But then I'm thinking of this actually being a different color. So we'll add in a new black metal thing there. I think that's cool. That'll work. So we have our bath pipe tap. We have our shower tap. I could add in some extra detail to that as well by beveling it. This one doesn't need to be as big. Well, maybe it does, because it's, you know, why not? Just see what this one looks like with a bevel. Just do this as a free segment. Those little things, they just reflect the light a lot quite nicely. And I'm going to save it at this stage. Okay. So now we've got a tap. I'm going to name all this stuff. Bath tap. Oh god. Bath tap. Shower controls. What's this thing? That's the actual sink tap. Sink tap. So in the sink area, we need the sink tap, don't we? Shower fixing. What is that? Oh yeah, I forgot I made that. I could just see what that's like actually. What material is that? I think that is the same thing as before, so let's just try putting that like that. Yeah, I'm going to leave that like that for now. Now let's just have a look overall at composition. Cool, so we get some more lighting off of the pipe. Draws a bit of attention to those areas. And yeah, I think that's looking alright. We could then have like that kind of shower board thing over the top, some products on here, and then controls. I think controls is we're going to need that next, just so that kind of ties that all together. Alright, let's do that bit. So I think they need to be completely new objects. Realistically, I'm going to start with some cylinders. I'm going to keep these relatively high resolution, and these can be they'll be black, quite simple. I'll keep them at 32. I'm going to rotate it on the X by 90 degrees. I'm going to scale it on the Y, so it's kind of thin, and then scale it overall, so we've got like a rough shape. Get it into where I think it would be, size and stuff. Go to orthographic views and then plonk it right where I want it. So I'm going to actually add the metal free material. This material is literally so basic, I'm going to actually add some textures to it soon, once I've done this specific model. So I think the controls would be something like that. And I'm also going to add a bevel to this. Very difficult when it's at this scale, but that's about right. I can come in here and change all that if I want to. Just want to make sure auto smooth is on, which it is. And actually I am going to make this smooth bevel smaller, sorry. So that's going to become an additional 0. It's probably a bit too much actually. I think having that extra number is probably what we want. Okay, so I reckon 1. Yeah, that's what I want. It's probably not enough detail in it actually, but from this distance, I think it'll be fine. So it's a case of just, what would we have? We'd have hot and cold and shower. So we'd have the hot and cold controls. So we'd have 2 of these, and then the shower would be maybe like some kind of switch or something. So on this thing, maybe no, we just have 3. We could just have 3 identical ones. So there's that. Maybe we have some kind of grips on it. So I'm going to, there's a way, where's the checker select? Checker, oh that's deselect. Okay, so let me select the entire loop and then checker deselect. So that will select every other one. So I'm going to then do, let's try an inset first and then an extrude, and then I'm going to do that. So instantly that looks alright, doesn't it? So I think it does need, like, it won't be fully coming off of the, it won't be fully attached, sorry, so I think we'd have something like this. And I think really that's all you need from that perspective, is that little bit of a gap. And then we have, I think that's pretty good. I mean, it's not, the bevel, okay, the bevel is not looking so great anymore. Oh, it's even worse now. I think that's it though, isn't it? Doesn't look as nice, so maybe it needs to be something like 0.7. Just keep playing around with these numbers until we get something that's acceptable. I mean, we're starting to get some overlap, which is what we're trying to avoid. See these little imperfections in the shading is because they're overlapping. So I think that's what we're going to get away with, I think, realistically, is 0.6. So just to make it look a little bit less oh, what am I doing? Sorry. So it looks a little bit less angular. I'm going to do some kind of things like this, perhaps. I mean, it's quite industrial looking, but I mean, that's kind of the look I'm going for. And maybe in on that, something like this. Just anything that will like potentially catch the light in a better way. I mean, at this, because it's denoising, it's not going to look too great. I think because of the material as well. But I think this face could be, these faces, sorry, could be a little bit deeper. And then maybe bevel those. And then I could try weighted normal. That doesn't work, does it? So why is that doing that? Guessing it's to do with... What is the reason for that? That's a awkward shading issue that I don't particularly like. Can't really remember what could be causing that. It's to do with the bevel size, I'm pretty sure, but I don't think it's that bad. I think it's alright. I think that's fine. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. So, let's go to, let's isolate this, and then I'm going to go to front view, and I'm going to reorganize these. So I think that would be like the hot, and then we'll do, you know, that would be the cold, and then this would be the shower control. So we have our three controls. Easy, simple, done. Maybe I'll scale this one slightly. And then put these ones a bit further away. Just a smidgen. Actually, yeah, so this one should be a bit like that. Not perfect, but I think for what it is, that looks cool. Lovely. Not too bad. Just in case you didn't hear me, man, I'm just gonna... Okay. So we got quite a few upgrades there. The next things to do, maybe a bar of soap. Or the board across here. Actually, yeah, I'll do the board across. Then really we'll want to start filling up this stuff, don't we? The board, or a board, would be quite cool. Or a towel. Maybe a towel going over the thing, or a rug on the floor. I might do all the fabrics like later on though. Get some more of the fine details. Oh, the ceiling light, that's the thing I want to get done in this session. I want to keep this kind of relatively, I don't want to do like my last one was about 4 hours long, so I want to try and keep these down to about an hour and a half if possible, and we're at 48 minutes already. So yeah, I'm gonna have a look at some light examples. Maybe something simple like this would make sense, but it's a bit boring, isn't it? So I've got all this, you know, these are just kind of industrial sort of layouts. These are some of the exteriors I'm going to do, but I don't know, actually I'm quite into just these simple lights. So I'm just going to isolate this. I think I have made a main light, which I can't see. Where is that one then? All right, okay. So it's about there. So we'll isolate both of them. And I'll bring in a new object. Use my cubes. Bring it roughly where we are. And put this in the center of the light, and then I can get it to about where you would have it. So there we go. Maybe it'll be, do I just use the same soft light? Nah, it's got to be different. Okay. Yeah, let's jump in to this thing. I tend to do this kind of design quite frequently. It's just a kind of easy box kind of light thing with the light raised up in there, and do some simple things like beveling. Now this one has got to be wafer thin because it's a wafer thin light. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, is it actually worth it? I don't know if it's worth it even having one. It's always worth it, that extra bit. Cool, we'll do that. So that's the light box. And what would go inside it? That's the question. What kind of bulb would I want? Would it just be a cylinder, like an old tube light? I mean, I am going for this industrial sort of look, so that would make sense. And everything except, oh no, everything except the Y. And then we'll get it into position. I could do something a bit more fancy afterwards. I just want to get something in there for now. Just something that like can be in the mirror. Material preview. I'm just gonna, because I have no bevel on this, I'm just gonna smooth it this way. And then I'm actually going to grab these two edges, press extrude, and then do that kind of thing. And then one more time. So it's kind of connected to that. And then I'll actually grab these two. I think I'll extrude those again and make them fatter. And that's almost going to be like the housing, the fitting, sorry. And then the whole thing can go up. And then do some basic materials. Can I get that from here? No. Let's try again. No. Go on, you can do it. There we go. And then add in I'll just do the metal thing. Assign that. Then grab this. Create a new. Why not go with Lightbox and assign that? So now we have one of them sort of bulb, fluorescent bulb things. I think 2 would look better. And oh, hang on, let me do this. It should be, pretty sure I did a material instance. Excuse me. So that's that. And then this needs to be a new metal, I think. I'm gonna have this as metal underscore 4. What am I on about? No, underscore 2. And then I'll just make that fully metallic. And fairly rough, and just leave it like that temporarily. Okay, so now I'll bring back the rest of the room. Come into this. I just want to see if I can see that. Yes, I can. But I can also see... Oh, so it's the light. Ah, okay, right, yeah. Didn't think about that. Right, okay, so I'm going to have issues here. Let me just hide that. Yeah, they're quite... yeah, not very nice. They're quite chunky. So I'm going to scale everything except the Y. Nope, 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 nope. Yeah, they're pretty ugly. Too industrial. Too damn industrial. Hmm. Let's go back to our references and have a little look. What kind of lights do we have? See, there's no lights in that one to sort of make reference to. There are some in there, but they're also joined onto a completely different room. It's these, yeah, it seems like bathroom lights are more these kind of small, inner, built-in ones. Okay, so I'm gonna do a bit of sacrilege and completely delete these. Although I could have put them inside the light box. Let's look at the... Now, will that... What can I use that for? Can I use that for anything? Is there anything in the room that I could use that for? Maybe it's just some kind of tray. Just so I don't get rid of it. I'll just call that a tray. And that can go in the sink area. Yeah, I'll just, rotate that on the by 180. Then I'll just make it like a box. Oh, not rotate. Just do something like that and then scale the whole thing. We'll just bring it over, put it on one of these shelves, put it like in there or something, rotate it by 90 degrees on the Z, and just plonk that kind of there, I guess. And I think that's all right, yeah. Maybe these need shelves. I think this needs a shelf, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. All right, all right, all right. Let's do that. Let's create a loop there and a loop there. And then you could just do that. Maybe I'll make it a bit more interesting. Something like this. Or would it just go straight across? No, you wouldn't want that, would you? I think just extruding that out like that probably is the way. We'll do it with both of these so they're symmetrical. We'll do it like that. And then grab the whole thing and smart project. Now we have some shelves. And then this box can be smaller and go on that top shelf. And I will rotate it on the Z so it's not perfect. And then just put that in there like that. And that just adds something to it for now. Okay. Okay, cool. So I didn't waste all of that time. But I did waste. Okay, so now I need to think of a light style. I think round is going to be the way to go. And what I might do is I might just steal this mirror, which I don't even know where that is actually. Where is the mirror? Sink area. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna duplicate the mirror, and this is gonna go just into the objects folder. I'm gonna rename this light main. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally just go into edit mode. I'm going to do that and that. And then I'm going to bevel it. You just want that edge. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe it needs to be smaller. Maybe I did that too much. I reckon about there. And then bring it out and bevel it. Yeah. And then just give ourselves a nice amount of detail. Cool, so now we've got like a dome thing going on. And then I'm just going to select all of these loops. And I'm going to reassign a different material. Actually, I'm going to do the whole thing. Oh no, I don't have to do that. What am I on about? So the frame can change to, let's say, metal black. And now we have the light. And I'm going to scale that right down. 90. Up on the ceiling. Actually, I can go a bit bigger. And then I think that could probably be scaled on the Z quite a bit more. And then put that into the ceiling. And now what I need to do is maybe create some kind of array. Some realistic kind of thing. Like how would you have it? The room is actually one thing I do want to do is come back into this, into object mode, grab this wall and just resize these things, because they're not right at the moment and it annoys me. They don't need to be like perfect, but they can definitely be better. Okay, so now the room's the right size. What is this? That's what I don't know. What is that? Oh, it's like I've done a little cut in there for some reason. What the hell? Why is that there? Come out of that, go into ever scroll, grab that thing, delete it. Now, should be fine. Let me go into wireframe. Yep. I just went on a button bashing curve then. Okay, cool. So now, if I go into wireframe for the whole scene, see. Okay, right. Now we're back. So yeah, logically we'd have probably like one in the center. One kind of here. One kind of here. I guess. I reckon that's it. I reckon that's fine. And then I'm going to just see if you can actually see them. Which you can't. Of course you can't. I'm just going to make this lights. And put these all in there. And then... Maybe some kind of thing like this. Maybe there'd be a toilet here or something. The door, I'm thinking over there. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Things aren't always perfect. Oh, I don't like that one though. Is that one? Yeah. I'm gonna put it just over that way. Purely for the sake of the image. I'll have that one. Join it. Cool. That'll do. Okay. We're getting somewhere pretty good now. Oh. And also... Okay, right, yeah. That's that light. That needs to be off. So I'm going to put those lights into the light folder. So bath stuff. Okay, so I'm going to make a new collection called bath area. And all of that can go into there. That means I can now hide. Okay, where are they then? Oh, they're in the lights. So I'm just going to go hot. Shower. Cold. So they can go into the bath area thing. Control tank. I'm just going to put that like that. Sweet, so now I can turn off the entire bath area. And revert back. And what time we're on? We're on 1 hour and 9 minutes. Okay. I think what I'm going to do then is I'm going to do a render. And end it with a render. And just see if, you know, how much it's progressed. And we'll go from there. So the render will take about 3 minutes. I will also just yeah, I'll just let that go for a minute. So go up to render and oh, actually one thing I do want to do is check my denoising. Let's just denoise the albedo. So this is something to check out. What am I doing? Edit preferences. So I'm using my optics because I'm using an RTX. One thing I haven't done is test out whether or not it's better to have just the graphics card working or the processor as well. I've got them both selected, but I haven't done testing. I'm not going to use this time to test, but with this I should really use just optics and just see how that works out. I'm going to save it because you never know, it might crash. Put this into solid view and then hit render image. So that's doing its thing. And we'll just see really how it goes. While that's doing that, I'll just close up the old PureRef and minimize these and bring up the last render and have that ready to rock and roll to compare. And then yeah, we'll leave this rolling, and I'll have a sip of water. It's saying it's about 5 minutes remaining. So I don't know if you want to come back in 5 minutes if you are watching. It says there's only one person watching, which I assume is King Raheem. But yeah, we'll get in there. I think the next thing I'm going to do, now I've got the bulk layout kind of done, is start adding in some more things of interest, like small objects. So it'll be like soap products. Maybe like here I'll add like a toothbrush thing. Maybe a stack of towels in this middle one. I reckon like a mat or like a kind of creased up rug here. Maybe a towel over the bath. And then we're pretty much getting there. In my belly, I'm hungry. I think the windows could do with something a bit more to them. Oh yeah, one thing I didn't do is upgrade the black metal texture. It's unfortunate. Kind of want just like a, you know, because at the moment it's like this perfect, perfectly flat, perfectly shiny kind of, you know, metal with no imperfections, and that's kind of what we're looking for. Is you want some imperfections. And also I need to fix the material under the shower because that looks a bit fake to me. Like you wouldn't get that. So it's a material thing on some of them. I think all the basic textures they need upgrading. That will be the next thing, is going in, fixing the black metal texture. The grate for the shower. Maybe I'll yeah, no, that'll be fine. That'll obviously change the pipe, these bits, the metal for this and all of that. Maybe I'll do some kind of like painted aluminium or painted sort of thing, like a matte metal, I think would be cool. Not really matte, but you know, partially matte. Then some kind of nice material for this frame, I think would be good. I hope that the texturing will look better on these things. Oh, it looks like we're close to the end. And hopefully the denoiser doesn't just absolutely shred everything, because I have converted it to the optics one rather than the automatic. So this is untested. Really, I should have left all the settings the same to keep continuity, but I haven't. But there we go. So that's the current one. Yeah, that denoiser isn't as good, is it? It's definitely not as good in there, and all of this stuff. As an overall image, it's not bad. Bit of a pain, but yeah, like looking at this one, the denoiser's done a much better job. Oh, as painful as it is, I might just redo it with that original denoiser. I'll save this one though as a bathroom free optics denoise only, just as a reference. But I'm going to delete, go back in, and I am going to change this to automatic again. Oh, maybe it's because, yeah. Okay, so that doesn't work. And I'm going to redo it. So, unfortunately, another batch of rendering. But all of this stuff is worth going through. And yeah, I think it's definitely got to be done. One thing I could do is maybe play a song in the background. Let's see if I can get this to work. Well, it looks like it's done a bit better, but it's not, still not done very good there. So, I mean, I need to figure out what that is. I guess it's the light again. So I'm just going to have to name this one bathroom 3. So that's to do with my render settings and my lighting, I guess, and my denoise settings. So we've got that saved. I'm going to save the project, close it down, and open up bathroom 2, bathroom 3. So yeah, I mean, looking at bathroom 1, that was pretty fine before with no lights, and it's like suddenly, including this, has created noise there somehow. Unless there's another light interfering somehow. So I need to figure that out. I need to figure out why these this noise issue is occurring. I mean, it might be to do with the texture, I don't know. I mean, nah, because there's nothing there. That song's going to repeat. So I'm just going to mute that. Maybe I'll add in the track. Just put that one gently down in the background. So yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a rendering noise issue. That needs to be changed. Yeah, it's the denoiser. So if we can ignore the denoiser, hopefully. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I need to figure out a few things. But overall, as a composition, it's not too bad. It's just a rendering issue here. Like, this is picking up all the normals and doing some weird stuff with the denoiser. Maybe I need more samples. But one thing I am happy with is this has all gone back to being quite nice. I think this is raised up a bit too high, maybe. But overall, it's gone back to the elements I really liked about the first image. We're starting to generate a bit more interest in the mirror, and overall I think it's pretty cool. So this is the current. Yeah, good progress. The next one will be probably me. I'll start looking into. We're getting some nice reflections as well in the mirror as well, which is quite fun. Not in the mirror, in the windows. So yeah, I think I need to just do a bit of testing, seeing what the best denoising and rendering settings are. And yeah, that's it. I'm liking the new light up here. Once we get some textures all over the place, I think it's going to be better. So yeah, hopefully that was quite interesting to watch and not too slow. Yeah, okay. Till next time.